Hi everyone, this is Laura and I'm here to share another project with you today. Um, Actually, I shouldn't say another, I should say a project. I was working on some cards. Guys, I got a little bit crazy with the altering of the boxes, the cigar boxes and the little wooden boxes, and I am just a little tired of altering stuff, so I had to take a little break. I do get a little overwhelmed sometimes. And if you guys have been watching my videos lately, you'll notice that I've been making a lot of bolster boxes. So I took a little break from that and I decided to work on some cards because I had to send a package out the other day and I didn't have a card that was ready and made, which was fine because then I made the card thinking of her. But I like to have a few cards for emergencies, um, just in case in my stash, and I didn't have any at all. And probably by this weekend, I'm going to be working on nothing more than Christmas cards. And today's already Wednesday, so I decided I better start working on those cards. If I wanted to make them, I better fit them in tonight. Plus, it'll also break the monotony of me making those Balsar boxes. And I have some images that were shared with me by some wonderful scrappy sisters that I decided to put to good use because, like many of you know, I am on this really big kick of pulling out all my old products and trying to use them as much as I possibly can, and pulling all the stuff that I've been so blessed with by friends or family members or just stuff that I bought and forgot about. So my cards that I made, I use this for two cards. I use this paper stack and it's called Allspice and it's by My Mind's Eye, and I love the fall colors of this paper stack. I just love these colors. It's been in my stash forever. I've managed to use I would say maybe 7 of the papers, but I had used this paper pad before, so there aren't too many left. But I do want to kill this deck. Especially now that it's full. So I'm going to try to squeeze in at least 3 more cards before all is said and done. So this is my first card. This image, I do not have the stamp. I think she's totally adorable and cute. She's so pretty. Um, this image was given to me by my sister, who's a card maker. She doesn't really do videos on YouTube, but she is big into card making. She does have a blog, and um, she has her own craft room. And sometimes when I am blessed enough to see her, because she does live in Maryland and I'm up in the mountains of New York, when we finally do get to play together, yeah, we're like two little girls. We'll just be in our PJs and break night. We'll be up all night just having an all-nighter in her scrapbook room. And that's when I go to town with her stamps. And I'll just go and stamp images so that I can bring them back home and play with them. And this was one of the images that I borrowed from her on one of those trips. And I decided to color her using my Pro marker, the Letraset Jet markers. And I also um, used my gel pens, which are these. And these I've had in my stash forever, guys. And I love them because they give this like glittery finish. Very shiny, very glittery, almost like stardust. Very light, beautiful, bright colors. But the only thing is, I've had them for so long, I don't remember what they're called. And look, they don't even have the names on them. All they have is these silly little barcodes. I can't read that to save my life. I know they're Sakura gel pens, but that's all I know. Um, I know they have the little star, so I think these might be the Stardust packs. But again, it was my sister, the card maker, who had told me about these gel pens. And I had looked for some different ones, and so many people had suggested Amazon and eBay, but I never found the other ones that I wanted. So I just used those. And what I did was I cut my little image out using my Spellbinders die. If you guys want to know which die this is, just message me and I'll let you know. I don't have it in front of me, unfortunately. Then what I did was I added some weathered wood and broken china distress inks, and I just shaded that in really heavily. I added some stickles all around the edges. I also played with my perfect pearls, and I made those little bronze little dots inside all the flowers and the little beads on the garland with my perfect pearls. Not sorry, not perfect pearls, liquid pearls. I always get those two confused. And then these little flowers were punched out for me, and they were given to me by one of my scrappy sisters, and I just added some flat back pearls to the centers. I also have these flowers here. This one and this one was also gifted to me, and this one I actually got from Wild Orchids Crafts. I have a little blue bow here that I just tied up. And guys, I was really trying to go for some simple cards with not too much bulk layering that I can mail out if needed to be in a regular envelope. And unfortunately, these two flowers here are a little bulkier than I had hoped for. But you know what? Maybe I'll send it with a package too, so it's okay. This piece of paper here comes from the Daisy D paper collections. It's extremely old. I don't remember the line because, again, I was using scraps of paper also. That's a big problem with me. I have this big, ginormous bin of scraps. I always add to it with the intentions of using it, and then I always neglect it and forget about it and don't use it as much. So I will be utilizing my scraps a lot more as well. And I thought it went perfectly with this paper here, which came from that paper pad. I used my Martha Stewart border punch, which is this one. And then for the inside of the card, I used the corner punch. And this one, I don't know what it's called, and I forgot to write the name in the back. But that's the one I used. And on the corners, I used some more of those liquid pearls, and I put a little 4mm flat back pearl. Again, another piece of that Daisy D paper. And I just love this paper because it already came looking very distressed, as you can see. Here is the smaller die from this set that I decided to use. And I will stamp a little message there. And then this is from the paper collection. And that's another thing, guys. I decided to use black cardstock as my base for all my cards because I just went and bought a whole slew of them, and I love black cardstock. I really do. I just love it. I think everything just pops out when you use it. I don't use it nearly as enough, so I made a conscious effort this time to use that. Now for this one, I used 3 different dies for the cover. I used another die, which is this one. This is a Dynamics die, and this was gifted to me by Laura, my birthday twin, Miss Cool Cat here on YouTube. And I just love the heck out of this little swirl. I also used my Monarchs Butterfly die by Diamond Dies. And you guys have seen me do so many projects with this die. It's my most favorite. I do have another butterfly die. I have to be honest. I'm going to be totally honest. I do not have a die that I love more than this one right here. This Monarch Butterfly die by Diamond Dies, I love it to pieces. It's one of my favorite butterfly dies. It's more favorite than the punches, the other die. I go to my cousin's house as well, and I use her dies, and I use my sister's dies, and I have to tell you, so far this is my favorite one. Can't compare it to anything else. So I use this one as well. And then I use my Spellbinders. I don't know if this is Fancy Oval or Lacy Oval, but it's one of the oval dies. And if you guys, I am so sorry. I just have such a mess on my desk. I thought I had it here, but I don't. But if you do want to know which one that is, I'll be more than happy to share that information with you. Just message me. This is one of my favorite oval dies from Spellbinders. And this image here, who is a gorgeous girl, this was given to me by Sharon Husoro Leel, one here on YouTube. And I just love her. She's so cute. Very, very cute. I also have this from another friend that also sent me some. So I used up the ones that Sharon gave me because I have some more in my stash, and I'll use those up at a different time. So real quick, again, I used the same paper stack, the Spice one by my Mansai. I cut out, this is an A2 card. I cut it out in black cardstock, and I did, the card is, what are the measurements again? 5.5 by 4.25. Um, cut out this on some very heavy basil, and I don't know if the camera's going to pick it up, but this is that shimmery cardstock. It's almost like fluorescent. I'm so sorry that the camera, I'm taping this at night, but the camera's not picking this shimmer up. This is gorgeous, gorgeous paper. I've had it in my stash forever. My sister was actually the one that I'm going to say gifted, but it's not gifted, guys. I really took it without her knowing. And I've had it in my stash forever. I took several different color sheets from her, and they were so pretty, and I haven't wanted to use it. I've had it, oh gosh, maybe 4 or 5 years. But yeah, I broke down. I finally used it. So I added some little flat back pearls to certain little areas around the frame. Here's the monarch butterfly that I was telling you guys about. And I don't know if you guys can pick this up, but on the corners here of the wings, I used my perfect pearls, and I used, what color is that? I can't remember now. Oh, this one is the gold, not perfect pearls, liquid pearls. I used some gold liquid pearls on the butterfly, and I also put a little tiny 4mm white flatback pearl there. And I did the same thing with this one. I have some liquid pearls in black to the corners and along the body. And then on the top for the little head, I used a white flatback pearl. I colored my little baby girl here using those Sakura gel pens. And then her hair, I did it with one of the Sakura metallic gel pens. And this was actually gifted to me by my dear friend M, who's Emoran here on YouTube. And I don't know if you guys can see her hair, but it's like metallic-y. And then her face I just covered with soft pale pink, and that's one of my pro markers. On the bottom, I have another strip of the paper from the same paper collection. And I also have this beautiful shiny, it's almost like seam binding, but guys, can you see the color? It's like fluorescent. It is seam binding, but it has lines in it. And then it has that fluorescent shimmer. I've been having this in my Happy Vault. This was sent to me by Louise, who's Mama JT4 here on YouTube. And I've been holding on to that forever. So I decided to use that. So I made a pretty little bow, and I put it on the bottom of my card. And then on the inside, I have some more of that cardstock pattern paper from the collection. another little lacy oval, and I used the shimmer paper that I was telling you about that I took from my sister to cut out this monarch butterfly. And I will decorate the butterfly and stamp and probably do some more on the inside when I decide who I'm going to send this to. And guys, I don't know if you can tell this, but these little swirl here's, this is this die here. And what I did for that was once I cut it out on my Big Shot, I actually cut the swirl in half, and then I just glued them down sporadically. And then on top of that, I added some liquid pearls. And the reason you're hearing me mentioning the liquid pearls is this is another product that I've had in my stash forever. I had a few bottles that were gifted to me by my sister, and then I had a few bottles that I won from Evie, who's Torque Soda, her challenge. She had a challenge, and I had participated, and I was the winner. And I think I won. She gifted me 4 bottles. I don't use these nearly as much as I need to. I am going to make it a point to use them a lot more, especially now with the holidays, with all the cards that I have to make. And I think they just make such a cute accent, and it gives it texture. And for those ladies and gentlemen out there who have not used these before, they're like stickles, except they're pearlescent, and they're almost like little baby enamel dots. And you just squeeze it out. Oh, that's my stickles. You just squeeze them out on the card, or your projects, but you just got to be really careful. And they do come out really thick, and they have like these little peaks on them, and you have to put it aside and let it dry for about 2 to 3 hours. And then they flatten down to look just like little teeny tiny little baby pearls. I love them for when I need teeny tiny pearl like looking pieces, because these are 4 millimeter, guys. A 4 millimeter is pretty tiny. So can you imagine how much smaller these little droplets are underneath it? Yeah, exactly. Super small. And then for my last card that I want to share with you that I finished today, which was my favorite card. This image was sent to me by Barbara, who stamps too much. I mean, not Barbara stamps too much. Barbara, why don't you create? Barbara, sweetheart, thank you so much for sending me this gorgeous, gorgeous image. For those of you who have not seen Barbara, why don't you create's channel? You really have to check her out, guys, because she did a project months ago where she actually created a carousel. OMG, the most beautiful thing one of the most beautiful things I've seen in a really, really, really long time. Gorgeous, 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 gorgeous. So she and I did a swap not too long ago. We swapped some images and die cuts, and this was one of the most beautiful images that she sent me. It's a little carousel horse. Excuse me 1 second, guys. My daughter will get that. Hello? And what I did was I cut out a card base, 5.5 by 5.5, black cardstock, and then to that I added this beautiful Prima papers that I had left over from my stash, and then to that I added the image that I backed on this almost like a hot pink wineish. I know on the camera it looks maroon, but it really isn't maroon. It's more like a reddish hot pink, and I thought it went really well with the, because it almost looks like the same color of these flowers up here. I thought it went really well with the Prima papers. Then I have some flowers that I made. This I made with my realistic rose die by Diamond Dies, and I added a little bling there. And these I sprayed with my Lindy sprays. I don't know if you guys can see, but it's actually two-tone. It has all kinds of gold speckles and glitters. And then I have the little flat flowers. These are all Prima flowers. And then this is a wild orchid. This has been in my stash forever. Stash forever. Prima flowers. Then what I did to the little image is I colored the image in using these gel pens. And then for the mane of the horse and the horse itself, and I don't know if you guys can pick up on this, I used my liquid pearls, and I love the way it came out because it actually makes it look like it's whooshing. I don't know if you guys understand what that means, but I used my white opal liquid pearls, and this is the one that I won from Evie's challenge. And then I added some flat back pearls in certain areas. I added some more liquid pearls using the white one. I used the liquid pearls there, flat back pearl there. Colored that in with the gel pens. I created a little banner here, and it says a note for you. Then I added some of this pink pearl trim, and I hot glued that going all the way around the card. And then on the inside, some more of those beautiful Prima paper. Like I said, this was just a scrap. And I believe this is from the Fairies Garden paper. And then this is another piece of scrap. Again, the same paper that I used in the front. And I used my Martha Stewart doily, scallop doily punch. And that's it. So those are my quick, I tried to keep them as simple as possible, cards. And I had so much fun going through my stash of goodies, trying to pull out all the amazing products that were gifted to me, sent to me, or that I have bought and neglected, or have had in my happy vault for a little too long. I hope you guys are enjoying your day and your evening. It's evening time now. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you like the cards. If you have any questions, please PM me. I will be happy to answer all your questions. And bye for now. Until our next video. So long. Have a blessed day.